crime has been committed, or where any of the computer system has been used, or number three, where any damage occurred. That's my first update. My second update is with regard to the updating of Department Order number 161, which created the Task Force on Anti-Illegal Drugs. There was a recommendation from the Prosecutor General that this DO necessitated an amendment or updating because all drug cases end up with a task force. So with the unintended consequence that which resulted in congestion in the task forces. So the changes now would be only drugs with 10 kilos within Metro Manila and 50 kilograms elsewhere will be referred to the task force. Then number two, if the respondent is a public officer or a law enforcement agent. Number three, if there's a foreign national involved, intercepted in airports or seaports. And then number four, if there is a select grave crimes or acts like clandestine laboratories and obstruction of drug case. So only in those instances will the task force on anti-illegal drugs will exercise jurisdiction. So it elevates this task force into an elite task force that will only go after the syndicate level drug offenders, and everything else will be delegated to the local prosecution offices who know their localities best. So those are my two updates from the law enforcement cluster. And I can take your questions. And of course, USICP is with us also.
Thank you, Yusek Dato. Yusek E. Yeah.
I have no specific updates from my cluster. What happened the past few weeks were mostly routine, and something that we feel we don't really need to highlight. But if you wish to continue highlighting the fact that we continue to celebrate Anti-Trafficking Month this month, so please do so as you've done the past few weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, Undersecretaries. We now open the floor to for the questions from the press. Please state your name and your media organization before asking your questions. Thank you.
Hi po sir, good afternoon po. Steve Rez po from TZMM. Tanong ko lang po kung may naglabas na ng warrant of arrest yung for RTC versus 18 Maleta Boys and Attorney Levy Baligot.
The information we have, what I can confirm, the 11 informations have been filed, and only one RTC of the 4 cities that I mentioned. It's because when you file an information, it gets raffled to a certain branch. So my information is in Caloocan City, it's before branch 1, 2, 3, and then in the other cities, Las Piñas, Muntinlupa, and San Juan City, it is awaiting raffle to a particular branch. Only if there is already a branch assigned will there be an arrest warrant. Will the determination of the issuance of arrest warrant will happen, because it will now be up to the judge to have a personal determination of the validity of the issuance of the arrest warrant.
Good Good afternoon, Adrian Ayalin po, ABS-CBN. Follow-up lang po, may post po si Attorney Balikod na parang minamadali yung pagkakaroon ng arrest warrant. Ano pong response po ninyo?
The National Prosecution Service, the panel of prosecutors strictly adhere to the rules of procedure. So any suspicion of deviation from the rules of procedure, any question are welcome. But if you check the record and then the evidence that support the charges, I am very confident that those I'm confident that those will stand scrutiny and that they have followed strictly the rules of procedure.
At kung maaari lang magdagdag, no? Sa punto na to, labas na sa kamay namin ang paglabas ng warrant of arrest. Ang mga korte na mismo ang may pasya kung ilalabas nila yung warrant of arrest. Tulad ng sabi ni Yusek Dato, may personal assessment, no? Yun mga huwes, kung may probable cause para ilabas yung warrant of arrest. Sa ganitong mga punto ng mga kaso, hindi kami na-involved, hindi namin or minamadali ang mga huwes na gawin na kanilang tungkulin. Yun lang.
Good afternoon, sirs. Maris Umali po of GMA News. On another topic, pwede po ba kayo magtanong tungkol dun sa latest progress lang po sa investigation with regards to the explosion that happened dito po sa may DOJ on the day of the son of the president? Have you identified any motive? Do you consider this as an act of terrorism, or was it just coincidence and an isolated incident?
The cause of the explosion and then the nature of the explosion are still under investigation. What we can assure you is that the whole DOJ compound is secured, remains to be secured. And immediately after the day, within 24 hours, the Philippine National Police have scoured the area and made sure that it remains safe and secured for everyone.
Do you still intend to file cases? Because if I'm not mistaken, meron din pong insidente sa Senate. So parang lumalabas na it was intentional.
We will go where the investigation will lead us, with the evidence from the investigation. But whether there's a connection or for whatever purpose the act was done, then we don't know yet. But what we can assure you is that the department will continue to do its work without fear of any interruption or influence from incidents like this.
Yusek, let me take this opportunity also to ask na rin regarding the Pax Silica issue, because there are, of course, a lot of groups raising their concerns about transparency and the possible displacement of communities. So, ano po ba ang isinasagawang pagre-review ng Department of Justice when it comes to the legal agreements involving the Pax Silica initiative?
At this point, Pax Silica is mostly an economic or trade concern. Right now, the lead for that would be other agencies like DTI, NEDA. But obviously, considering the magnitude of this project, this endeavor, DOJ will play a role when the time comes to look into the agreements as well as the legality of the entire process. If it does get to that point, we will be ready.
Because if ever, will there be any constitutional or legal issues that the department should be monitoring by now?
At this point, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see when the matter is referred to us. But if that does happen, when that does happen, we'll be ready to look into the legal and constitutional angles of this endeavor.
Thank you, sirs.
Good afternoon, sir. Sa Philippine News Agency po, si Ben. Sir, ano lang to, just a little background lang. No? This week kasi, former senior official of the DOJ died, and he's presently in Lipas. I don't need to mention his name. Pero one of the things that marred his reputation was this really big case in the late 2000s, the Alabang Boys case. Yung dun sa bago po ba nating rules, kasi yung that case involved influential people, pero the drugs involved was minuscule, parang ecstasy pills and marijuana, except that may whistleblower that claimed that there was distribution of bribes to prosecutors, which resulted in the acquittal of the 3 boys. Eventually, the acquittal was upheld up to the Court of Appeals. Sir, doon sa bago ba nating rules sa criminal cases on drug cases, pasok ba to or what? Kasi technically, hindi siya pasok dahil hindi siya foreigners. Originally, hindi naman kasama yung mga prosecutors sa respondents. Pangatlo, hindi naman malaki yung drugs involved.
Thank you for your question. It is, I feel, no, it's quite unbecoming if we make a comment, especially with the passing of a highly respected figure in the department. But I will just revert to what I said, that the updated department order would focus on syndicate level grave offenses and senior offenders for the purpose of decongesting the task force on anti-illegal drugs and to capacitate the local prosecution offices who know their localities best.
Good afternoon po, Alvin Murcia, Daily Tribune. Tanong ko lang po, bakit hiwa-hiwalay po yung pagpapile ng kaso dun sa Maleta Boys? Ba't hindi nilang isang trial court?
Yung paghahain po ng kaso ay depende naman po sa, naayon po sa para po malinaw lang, no? Yung Rule 2.1 ng Rule on Cybercrime Warrants. At tayo po ay sumusunod lang naman kung ano ang nakasulat at nakatakda doon sa Rules of Procedure. Kaya po ng nabanggit ko kanina, meron pong 3 paraan or way, no? Kung saan, paano natin malaman yung korte na may jurisdiction. At ito po ay una, kung saan yung province or city, kung saan isa sa mga elemento ng krimen ay nangyari. Pangalawa, kung saan part of the computer system that was used is located. And number 3, where the damage occurred. So naayon naman po yung paghahain ng informations, naayon naman po sa Rule 2.1 on the Rule on Cybercrime Warrants.
Joel San Juan, sir, from Business Mirror. Sir, paano natin i-reconcile, sir, yung parang contradicting treatment when it comes dun sa 18 former soldiers, considering that the ombudsman is using yung affidavits ng 8 of the 18 soldiers as basis for filing of cases against former Speaker Martin Romualdez. While here the DOJ, were filing cyber libel and perjury charges against them. So, parang may contradiction. Kasi ang sabi kasi ng ombudsman, first hand, yung sworn statements provided by 8 of the 18 soldiers were based on first hand experience. So, paano natin mapapaliwanag yung parang contradicting approach?
Yung Office of the Ombudsman po, no, is a constitutional body na mayroon po silang distinct na mandato, no? At mayroon silang kapangyarihan at authority to determine, no, and to investigate cases or complaints and crimes, no? So we absolutely respect the mandate of the Ombudsman to initiate and conclude any investigation on anyone, on any case. Yung Department of Justice naman po, may sarili din naman pong mandato at meron pong kapangyarihan to investigate cases and complaints according to its own assessment and determination of the evidence submitted before it. Wala pong seeming conflict sa dalawang opisina.
Kung maaari lang magdagdag, yung tinutukan ng mga kaso dito sa DOJ, yung joint affidavit ng 18 Maleta Boys, no? Yun ang tinignan natin. Yung ginamit ng mga ombudsman, yung mga hiniling ng ombudsman na individual affidavits na nakatukoy sa particular na mga respondent at para din sa mga particular na mga Maleta Boy. So, you know, walang inconsistency doon, ano? Kasi kung alam naman natin yung laman ng joint affidavit, napakadaming dinawit doon, napakadaming sinabi. At lumabas tuloy sa mga pagsusurvey pagkatapos sa Senado o kung saan man na napakadaming mga inconsistencies or pwede natin sabihin kasinungalingan. So doon talaga nakatoka ang DOJ, no? Doon sa joint affidavit ng 18 Maleta Boys.
Thank you, sir. Sir, in relation din to, yung wala bang recourse ang company Attorney Baligod para ma-consolidate yung mga cases that were filed scattered dito sa mga korte?
Meron po kasi tayong tinatawag na sub judice, no? So once isang court has assumed jurisdiction over naghain na po tayo ng information, no? Kaya ipaubaya na lang po natin sa korte yung natural course of the proceedings. But we are confident that Attorney Baligod, being a lawyer, will exhaust everything within his rights to protect his interest. Whatever that is, well, it's on him.
Are there any other questions?
Attorney Baligod is saying that even the Ombudsman is expressing interest in the testimony or supposed testimony of the 18 Marines, and it should have affected the findings of the DOJ. Paano, sir, natin i-reconcile na the Ombudsman is interested in the papers submitted by the 18 Marines, so-called Marines, and at the same time, we are charging them for libel and perjury?
The Ombudsman dismissed the joint affidavit. Yung Ombudsman mismo nagsabi na walang bisa yung dokumento na yan at kailangan ng panibagong dokumento, individual na affidavit na particular sa mga particular na respondent, bagay consider ng Ombudsman. So yun ang dahilan, no? Kasi kami dito sa DOJ, nakatoka kami doon sa joint affidavit ng 18 Maleta Boys na napakadaming dinawit at madaming mga lumabas na inconsistencies pagkatapos.
Are there any more questions from the media?
Hi po, Kathleen De Villa of Philippine Daily Inquirer. Si Attorney Baligod po is saying na hindi daw sila nabigyan ng chance to file a motion for reconsideration after na-release yung resolution. So your comment on that. Thank you.
Alam ko naka-file naman sila ng MR, pero ang MR, hindi na to pinipigilan ng pag-file ng information sa korte. Yun naman talagang patakaban dito sa DOJ sa lahat ng mga kaso na biniresolve namin, at kung may pasya na nasampahan ng kaso yung respondent sa korte, tumutuloy yun kahit na may MR.
The bail recommended is 18,000 pesos for each accused in the perjury cases and 10,000 pesos for each accused in the cyber libel cases.
Any more questions? None. With that, thank you, Undersecretaries. Thank you also to our press for your presence in today's press briefing. Have a good afternoon. Thank you.